Hey, great people! Why is a confident man seen as a leader, while a confident woman is seen as intimidating? I am Diana Amboikemani, and I'm here with two beautiful ladies.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Cindy Doyle, founder of Ahimsa, and I want to say it's your moment, Queen. Let's rise.
Oh, amazing!
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
I'm Valentine Modoni Chage. I'm the community engagement lead at Ahimsa, and I am so glad to be sitting with these amazing ladies over here.
Yeah.
I can't wait for everything we have to talk about today.
So yeah, if you see these great women, they are leaders, and today we are going to talk about women in leadership. I hope you guys will stay tuned because what you're about to hear in this podcast will help you get enlightened and motivated to do what you do best in your day-to-day life. All right, guys, so let's take it away. Valentine, how are you?
I'm amazing.
And you, Cindy?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Thank you.
Oh! You're always funny and I love it. The fact that you make me smile. Oh. So about women and leadership, do you think women are truly influencing decisions in the world, or are they just getting on the wheel with what they got as built?
Oh, I absolutely think women are very influential in the world, always have been. Whether whether they've been allowed to shine or not. You know, I think we need to understand that we don't need to be louder to be heard. We need to be more anchored.
Oh, nice.
So we're not trying to replace men.
I love that.
Yeah, we're just expanding the model, and it's not move over. There's room for more than one way of doing leadership, and the world really requires both. It always has. Somewhere along the way, though, women just lost their voice. And once again, it's not about us replacing anything. It's just having room on the stage for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. Valentine, what do you think about it? Do you think women are just fitting in the systems that have been there, or do you think that when they get into, for example, you're a leader in one way or another, have you tried, or do you feel from inside like you're trying to fit in what has been there, or are you building a system by yourself?
So I'm going to approach this from a cultural point of view, because unfortunately, we would want to think that Cindy here from the United States of America, have better platforms or better avenues to sound whatever they want to. But for us, for you to be a proper woman, you have to not really say what's on your mind. You have to go with whatever the society dictates for you, and you find out that for you to even think of yourself as a leader feels like you're stepping away from how you've been brought up. So for you to even think that you are a leader, first needs for your resilience and for you to change how you structure your mind and how you view leadership.
Wow.
Because once we talk about leadership for women here in Africa, we lead our homes. We lead in cooking. We lead in the sanity of the home. You know, it's all this is a form of leadership.
That's true.
But yet it's given a lesser role. So if you're taken as a leader, people look at you like you want to look better. You just have to sit down and wait for the men to do it. And I love what Cindy says. This is not a move over situation. There's a space for all of us.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's why I love this conversation so much, because we get to hear what Cindy's point of view is and what our point of view is here back in Africa. And funny thing is, we'll find that there are similarities. It's just that how we approach leadership here is different from how they approach leadership.
And it's funny because you just got my next question from just my mouth. And not that you're from America, she's from Kenya.
Well, okay.
Yeah. I think we should try to spot some differences or similarities, because I feel, or there is this stereotype that maybe America, they do it much better in terms of leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll address that, you know. Perhaps we are more advanced because we've had the women's movement in America that's been a little stronger than it has been in Kenya. But it doesn't matter. At the core, the issues are exactly the same. So even if you're just starting now or you're 10, 20 years behind us, it doesn't matter. The issues are exactly the same. So I appreciate what you're saying, but that's what makes it so exciting to be here and to help start that movement here.
Yes, absolutely. And you see, it's funny how we look at the whole issue of leadership as you're talking about it here, because it's a real struggle. Because for us, any role of leadership is automatically given to the male, and for us it's like an alternative. We have this thing in our government where the women are given like a 2/3 rule, like we have to get representation like a 2/3 and of the parliament, 2/3 representation in our parliament, and it's always like a handout, like, oh, here you go, you know, we know you can't really do it, but let's have this percentage, and then we have to go back and debate about it, and we are still fighting for that space even right now. Well, it's already written down that it's a law, but yet you will hardly find men championing women in leadership. So that's why we have to rally up together, because we know that we offer alternative leadership, and the alternative leadership comes to create better solutions. At home, if anything goes wrong, they know the mother will sort it. You know, so she will fix it somehow. And we can multitask, and we do it with all our strengths, making sure that none of the responsibilities that we run, none of it is failing in any way. So I love it that we are having this conversation, Cindy, and just hearing from you. I know we are a bit behind on all this, but we are really into championing for the women in our country.
You know, I can give you an example of where, although America's made great strides, one thing that's very disparate, still has a great disparity, is the pay for women. Women are not paid the same as men in the same positions.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's amazing. Right.
So that's another thing that we're continuing to work on, and you know, there should be an equality there. We may deliver differently, but we deliver equally.
Yes. There is a difference though. And that Valentine, you talked about politics and being in government, being a woman. Sorry, I have to say this, but forgive me. I'll have to do it. Did she ever tell you that she was vying for an MCA?
What?
She was vying for an MCA? No, now I have told you. I'm right here for you. So will you please tell us how it was like being a woman competing with men for a political seat?
Wow.
Explain to my American friends what an MCA is.
Okay, sorry.
So, according to the structure in our government, the MCA is the one in charge of the ward.
Okay.
Yes, so you lead a ward.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the member of county assembly.
So, of the county? Okay, so you would be on city council.
Yes.
That would be, or, something
So from the
comparable in the States.
now from the president,
Right.
now we go down to the governor.
Mhm.
Then after the governor, we go down to the MP.
Okay.
Yes.
MP?
The
Senator.
member, the senator, then the member of parliament,
Okay.
then the MCA.
Okay.
So you're in charge of our ward.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that was brutal,
Yeah.
because you imagine
A woman?
you know, and then unfortunately for our country, it always runs on tribal basis. I'm sure as you've learned right now, because you've been here a while, the Kikuyus like have everything in order, and well, sometimes it's to your advantage, sometimes it's to your disadvantage, and it gets even worse for you if you're a woman. Doesn't matter now about the tribe, and it gets worse if you are a single woman.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the lash out from the voters and everyone, you feel like you have something to offer, a solution, an alternative solution, but they first judge you from, are you married? If you're not handling a family, how on earth are you coming to handle a whole ward? What are you going to do with that? And after that, are you even a mother?
Yeah.
Because now at that level, at the MCA, you have to represent mothers.
Sure.
Do you relate to that? For me, it was of course at first it was very disappointing, because before even the political party takes you in, they have to ask you these questions and they tell you this is what's gonna disqualify you. So you just go on and just look for something nice to do,
You know, as advanced as America is, we still fight some of the exact same issues in pockets of our country that echo that. And so I'm with you, sister.
Oh, and I love it that sometimes these challenges are meant to be here to make us hard, because even if you're not leading a ward, you're leading women and you're doing way much better, because also dealing with different people with different mindsets, it's work.
Oh, I can tell you this. I didn't understand the wisdom and the depth and I appreciate all their concerns now that I am in marriage, I am a mother, and there's no way you are coming to talk to me about motherhood and all this, and yet I haven't gone through it, and try to relate, it will be very different.
Sure.
But right now, I understand why they looked at me different. And you see, right now, I am also able to relate with those who have leadership ambitions that are not married and have no family, and those who have. And so it has given me like a first-hand experience to be very helpful to this who is single and they want to vie.
Sure.
And I tell them, so this is how you have to present yourself. This is not how you dress, because you are approaching women, mothers, and all this. So I definitely learned so much from whatever criticism that I received.
And back to you, Cindy. Now that we are talking about women and career, being in motherhood, being in parenthood, do you think women aren't committed to their careers? And is there a difference? Will it make a difference in productivity, being a career woman in leadership?
I think it has both its advantages and its disadvantages. I don't think there's any shame in choosing one over the other. I think women experience, and we've talked about this already, unique challenges in being in leadership positions in careers. But I definitely feel like if that's where you want to be, if that's what you want to do, then you should have the avenue to do it.
And I also feel like it's all the same. I mean, men are somehow fathers to their homes. We are mothers. If they are productive, being a dad and also a career person and a leader, then why shouldn't we be?
And the other thing is, in today's economy, both in the States and here, it's gotten to the point that it takes two incomes to make for a family to survive. That's just the economic reality. So if that is the truth, why should one be more valuable or important than the other?
Yes, that's true.
Just something I wanted to add on the how you find yourself either choosing to be a stay-at-home or a career woman. I feel like as women, if we could invest in having an ecosystem that allows us to thrive, because we are so blessed that we could rally around Cindy to make sure she thrives in whatever she's doing, whether it means helping her pick her kids out from school because she's in a meeting, running her groceries, you know, because we know the responsibility that comes with a woman and in leadership or a woman in any career setup. So that's why I thank God because we create such close relationships.
You know, I have a question for you because in America, emerging in the last few years, we have had, and it's very prominent in the profession that I was in of nursing. Nursing is primarily a female profession.
Yeah.
And it pays fairly well.
Yes.
So many of my colleagues, their husbands are stay-at-home dads.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that like a...
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh.
You know,
How do you take that?
you know, it's what I just said. It's what works. What there should be no disparity. If it's the woman that has the education, that has the skill to make the money to support the family, do it.
Do it. I mean,
Our Kenyan listeners are like, straight from
you know why I ask you that is because here in Kenya, and I believe most of women believe, and especially in today's world of social media, men should be the providers, which is very much okay, and I agree with that too. But at some point, I feel like it comes to a point, the man will lose their jobs. So should we kill them?
Oh, that's
we were not nodding to that, but anyway.
but no. I mean, once again, what it really needs to be, what difference does it make? What we're after is what is best for ourselves, our relationship, our family, what works. How do we best serve society? How do we best serve our communities? It really doesn't matter who's making the money. That's been made too big a deal of. And if you are given the privilege of being able to have a stay-at-home parent, whether it's the male or the female, that's a wonderful thing. That's a proven thing. If you've got somebody that can be stay at home until your children are of a certain age, that builds stronger family units.
Wow. I think that's a very different perspective of
Yeah.
what people
You know,
know.
we're just like, well, yeah. Nice. Because unfortunately for us, Cindy, our society has really evolved. And more respect is given to the person who's bringing in the finances. So, unfortunately, the one who gets to stay at home is the lesser.
It's the lesser of the
know?
two, and it should not be that way.
And unfortunately, it happens even for the men who just look at the wife as a stay-at-home mom, and there's nothing you are adding into my growth.
And I'm afraid what happens so often, and probably, I mean, does still in the state, is that maybe mom's out making all the money, but dad's not going to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
She's still expected to take care of the kids, to take care of the house, to do all of those things because that's a woman's job.
Yeah.
You know, that's, I just think as we evolve as a society, and I think, you know, I've been listening to a book. What's the one? His name? Wangari Maathai.
Yeah.
You know, and back even with your society, in those days there was an equality
Yes.
between men and women,
Yes.
and I think it's something that we've lost along the way in all of our societies.
Yes.
That it's not just, you know, hearkening back to one of our ex-vice presidents who said it takes a village to raise a family.
Yes, yes, it does. But you see now, unfortunately, because we've all definitely lost where the roots from where we came from.
Mhm.
That's why you find now we have to come up with march against men,
Mhm.
fight against. We're just trying to fight for space to breathe, space to be a woman, space to even find time for yourself.
True.
Mhm.
Everything is a fight. And why are you not doing this? But I'm from work, you've been here the whole day. But no, you are a woman. Take care of the kids and make sure you're taking care of me. You know?
Yes, that was
And
my
I know,
job.
what? And so I feel like we definitely cannot give up on the fight, because now the fight is not just physical, it's also psychological, it's also
Mhm.
spiritual. So it's a whole, all this together.
Yes.
And that's why this is very nice as we're talking about this, because I'm sure your friends now feel that we don't feel so distant, you know?
Right, right.
And all of a sudden now we understand what you're talking about. It's just that here you cannot say a stay-at-home dad.
Right. You know, and once again, like I say, we may be a little bit further down the road than you guys are, but we're all on the same road.
Yes.
I believe now that every one of us here has been into leadership as a woman. Cindy, how was your experience as a woman, and positively and negatively?
My experience, what?
Oh,
As a woman?
I
like all right.
oh no.
You know,
As a leader.
As a leader. Well, you know, what I would say is it's been mostly positive, but over the years, I've had times where I felt like I needed to make myself small in order to keep the peace.
Uh-huh.
Don't we all understand what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
But I think we all have to understand that dimming our light doesn't illuminate the room for everyone, you know. So it's not, that doesn't create clarity, that creates confusion.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
If a leader steps down or pulls back, I think speaking up, just as we are doing here, and just speaking our truth
Yes.
and discussing it and working it out, and you know, we're not demanding anything. We're asking what will make our lives, what will make our communities, what will make our society, what will make the world a better place to live in.
That's true. That's true. And you see, it's amazing that I know our country sometimes back had an issue that we are only championing for the female and not championing for the male. And they talked about they feel left, you know, and all this. And we did try to sympathize, but something happened. We had a spike in the
Feminist?
GBBS?
yes, more women were killed by their spouses.
Gender-based violence.
And we cannot rally for that. So we have to continue rallying for our women. We need to continue telling them, raise your voices, talk about it, what's happening. And,
Exactly.
you know,
And we haven't touched on that yet,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we will on a
Yes.
future.
Yes.
We really, because domestic violence is very close to our heart,
I
and what it
think
is we're
that
wanting to
should
do.
be our next series.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes. So just for anyone out there going through being affected by femicide and all this, we are our solution. Like nobody else can rally for us the way we can, and that's why we have to be in the front line. We talk about men championing women. It's nice, but we understand what it takes and how it feels. So let's all put our voices together and continue championing for our women.
As we were preparing on the podcast, I was talking to Cindy about how do I call it in a better way, sex trafficking. And we were saying that if we don't stand up for ourselves as women, unfortunately, even from the people on the top, they are not ready to do that. We will not get justice. So we have to do what we have to do as women. Speak for ourselves and our children.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
That's a very prominent thing actually worldwide right now, and stemming from the United States.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna
I
not
think
say a lot about that.
That's why we keep on saying
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we keep thinking you're gonna tell us more stories about the America, the way you do things.
I'm sure it's something.
I want it understood. I love my country, and I just have some concerns about it right now. But I believe in it, and I love it.
Yeah. We also love our country, but
As
we,
you
we definitely have issues that we don't agree with.
That's true.
We have issues that we feel can be handled better. So yeah, we'll go on the streets and say no to whatever we are saying no to. Yeah, but if they straighten it up, we say fine, and we continue pointing them in the right direction. Like now, let's move this way. Yeah, so that's why we do whatever we are
You know,
doing.
I think it's a nature's way of trying to strategize and making things go to the way it should go, because now we are in a generation where people are trying to change what has always been done in the history, and they are trying to change the way of thinking from the people
Yes.
in the leadership and all that.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it's the only way they can do that.
absolutely.
I think, Cindy, from my end, I'm satisfied with today's episode. But if
I do.
do you have any questions?
Yeah,
or do you
I do have a question. I want to know, when did you first realize that you were a leader?
Ooh.
Well, this would have to be individually. It's
Yeah.
not that anybody, nobody is telling you, I think you could be a leader.
Yeah.
Individually, I think in primary school, and I just felt like I could show you guys what we can do.
That doesn't surprise me about you. That it started in
I know,
primary
like,
school.
well, I know this game is okay, but I could show you a better way. And anytime I suggested anything, they'd be like, yeah, that's nice. So the next time I said something, or maybe it's a lesson that we want to. I was also very good in school. Did I tell you that?
I thought so.
I was. Also, did I tell you guys I can sing? So yeah,
I didn't say it.
but you see, unfortunately, it didn't come out as, because some guys thought she's just a big
Bossy.
mouth, like
Just bossy.
she always had to say something. But as we went on, I found myself wanting to learn more about leadership. So I started reading small books on the shelves and all this. And later, I just told my mom straight to her face, I think I'm a leader. She was like, huh?
You?
know? Yeah, she thought because we're like two siblings, and I was the one who always had to get my raise. And like, you are just spoiled. But after some time, she saw it, and she started encouraging me to talk in church, do all this,
Oh, that's amazing.
suggest, yeah. So right now, I think I have a better understanding of a leader, and I feel like I am in that capacity. Yeah. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Madam MCA.
Yes. yeah.
Cindy, take it away.
Okay, I just want to say a few things. I want to tell everyone that women don't need permission to lead. You don't need anybody's permission to lead. You need clarity. You need courage. You need systems, which is what we're here to help develop. And you need to stop making yourself small.
Oh, right. And I would love to thank you, ladies, for your time. I know you have busy schedules, but you took your time to be here. And also to you, my viewers, our viewers, for your time, for tuning in, for liking and subscribing. And until we see you again, guys, please take care of yourself, all right?
And
Bye.
share.
Share. Bye.